Welcome everyone to the show. It's the WTF What's the Formula podcast. It's your guy, Mr. WTF. We got Coach Dimitri on here.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in to the WTF podcast, where we talk about the Migos, motivation, instruction, guidance, and ongoing support.
Listen, we're dropping every week, sometimes multiple times a week. We want to thank you all for being on the podcast. We got a nice show about to come up. We're going to make this real quick, but don't forget to hit that like button out there. Give us some ratings, hit the download button. Let us know how you're feeling it, because we're here to serve the people. Mr. WTF and Coach Dimitri. It's What's the Formula? There we go.
Hey.
We live out there.
What's up, everybody? Beautiful people. It is another beautiful Wednesday here at the WTF live stream. Hey, we have a wonderful panel, beautiful panel. Can't y'all see? 5 beautiful Black women here on International Women's Month. Hey, we switched up a little bit this time. I know y'all love seeing our beautiful bald Black heads, but today we're going to show off some beautiful Black women and hear their perspective on women's empowerment. So, buckle up. It's going to be an interesting hour of entertainment and insight and knowledge. So, Coach E, what you got for us?
Hey, man, again, this is a first for us. Salute to all the ladies out there for International Women's Month. We definitely want to salute you all and provide you all with a platform on the WTF, because it's What's the Formula, and that's what we want. We want to know what's the formula to this women empowerment, because I got some stories to tell, but I'm going to be quiet with that. I want to kick us off with a quick little poem and video that I think you all might enjoy. So let's check this out.
My name is Britta B., and the name of this poem is Dear Young Woman. Dear young woman, I hope you find you. I hope you find love. I see all the armor you wear. I see all the jewels and gems of wisdom you share. It's okay to shine, Ma. It's okay to shine. It's okay to have pride, Ma. You don't have to live a lie. Don't let the violence fool you into silence, convincing you that you are not worthy of space and time. You might not know it yet, but you got a multi-dimensional set of eyes looking out for you. Trust that what is meant for you is relying on you to show up. Show up. You can lose your religion, but you will never lose your spirit. Each of your breaths have minds and lives of their own. I doubt we'll ever know the true impact of our presence. What a blessing. Young woman, I wish you enough. I wish you enough time for all of your skills and talents. I wish you more. I wish you more revelations than disrespects and regrets. And I beg you to believe in yourself more than your parents ever did. Carry out your curiosities in spite of the corruptions you experience. You let yourself free. When you let yourself forgive. And so when you do, and I know you will, I hope you find you. I hope you find love again. A word that comes to mind for this piece is empowerment. As a poet, I really want to serve as an encouraging voice through my work. And I want this poem to be a reminder that whatever you're going through as a woman, you have the choice to make for yourself on how gentle and kind you are with yourself. So I may be putting this out there as a message for people other than me, but it's also a reminder to myself to treat myself kindly and to be good to myself.
So you all can tell these are the type of things that we're talking about today with women empowerment. Again, it's International Women's Month. It's the last week, so we saved the best for last here at the WTF. Now, I got to say something. I'm personally connected to all of these women, and I'm proud to say that. We've had different walks and different talks on all type of things, but these women got some intros, you all. Like, I said, hey, and I love it. I love it. Big yourself up. So we're going to get through the intros, and then we're going to jump right into the questions. But everybody out there, put some fire signs in the chat. Ask questions. If you have questions for these ladies, put it in the chat. We have someone monitoring that also. But I got to get these intros, and there's no particular order other than Miss Donna coming in first. She definitely gets to kick us off with her intro. So I'm going to read this verbatim. This is not what I made up, but let me get to Miss Donna. So Donna English is a proud alum of Monroe High School in the Bronx and Fairleigh Dickinson University in Jersey. Donna furthered her education by earning an MBA from Florida Institute of Technology. Her life took an unexpected turn in 1994 when she became a widow, leaving her to navigate the world as a single parent of 2 daughters. This pivotal moment would later become a source of strength and inspiration. Donna's professional journey led her to a nonprofit organization dedicated to foster care and adoption, a role that profoundly impacted her life and the lives of her daughters. It was here that she and her girls were exposed to children living in group homes, an experience that left lasting impressions on their hearts and minds. These encounters, coupled with Donna's dedication as a Sunday school teacher, imparted important lessons about compassion, resiliency, and faith. Driven by the teachings of the Holy Spirit and inspired by her firsthand experiences with children in need, Donna penned the 9 G's. This narrative not only reflects her personal journey and professional insights, but also embodies her commitment to sharing stories of hope, unity, and the power of family. Through her writing, Donna aims to illuminate the lives of the less fortunate and underscore the transformative power of love and acceptance. Miss Donna English, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Yeah, we can give her a virtual clap. Everybody out there, clap for this lady because she's doing her thing. But I got to get through these, you all. So I'm jumping right in. Let me see. I'm basing it on who showed up first. So Miss Losha, who is Losha Brooks? She considers herself a divine being having a human experience. She hails from the middle of the map. No coast, no palm trees, but every element of creation is present in her spirit. She is so St. Louis to the core. Losha Brooks is first the honorable mother of 2 wonderful kings named Pharaoh and Sairi. That's it, right?
Sair.
I should have known that. Who are her reason for all that she does, an English educator by trade and founder, CEO of First Class Educator, LLC, an international recognized educational consulting firm. She is a world-class leader in the education industry. Her organization specializes in leadership development, staff development, DEI, which means diversity, equity, and inclusion, training, curriculum development, and much more. Her mission to assist with grand planetary evolution is one that makes her a super connector. Although heavily involved in the education industry, she is hyper-focused on nation building, community building, family foundational building in all shapes and forms through establishing and creating intentional partnerships and connections. Her righteous name is Queen Phenomenal Earth, but I present to you Miss Losha Power Moves Brooks. Boy, y'all got some fire intros. Oh, I love it. All right. Someone near and dear to my heart. We've been on stages together, and I can't say that about everybody, but Miss CC. Bring her up, please, so we can give her flowers. Yeah, I always dig the hat. And she's short with hers, you all. So But Miss Cece out of Birmingham, Alabama, 16-year high school business teacher who has taught over 2,000 students. After experiencing financial hardship as a student athlete herself, she now educates student athletes on how to manage their money so that they can be financially independent by 30. She's a powerhouse on the stage. I've been there and witnessed this. She does her thing. You are the young CEO coach, Miss CC Clark. Yeah. I love these. Like, you know, and remember you all, I'm not an English major. So if I mess up some of these words, you know, I apologize. All righty. Joining us today is the double A, Miss Antonia Allen, a dynamic force in both the corporate and entrepreneurial worlds. By day, Antonia serves as a financial reporting manager, navigating the complexities of corporate America with expertise and precision. But when the office lights dim, Antonia dons the hat of a multifaceted entrepreneur. She's the proud owner of T-Shirts and Denim, a creative T-shirt business that captures the essence of casual elegance. Beyond her entrepreneurial ventures in the apparel industry, she's a licensed life insurance agent, a savvy investor in both real estate and a mattress company. You doing too much. Showcasing her versatile business acumen and a budding author with stories to tell. In addition to her entrepreneurial ventures, Antonia plays a pivotal role in community development as the Community Empowerment Director for the Millionaire Magnets community. Shout out to my guy, Storm Leroy. Antonia's journey to success is marked by a pivotal moment in October 2022 when she joined the Path to Prosperity mentorship group, P2P in the house. This experience was a game changer, teaching her to shed limiting beliefs and embrace a mindset of abundance and possibility. It's a testament to her belief in continuous self-improvement and growth. But there's more to Antonia than her professional endeavors. She's a globe-trotter with a passion for exploring new cultures, a culinary enthusiast who finds joy in the kitchen, and an avid runner with 3 half marathons under her belt. That's impressive. Currently training for her 4th, Antonia also enjoys leisurely walks in the park, dabbling in technology, and building websites. Recently, she's ventured into the world of social media, learning and growing her presence with an authentic voice. For those who wish to follow her journey, connect with Antonia on social media at I am Antonia Allen, at T-Shirts and Denim, and I am the Introvert Whisperer. Dive into her entrepreneurial spirit at tshirtsanddenim.com. And for a unique blend of insights and stories, tune into her faceless YouTube channel, always on mute, the great Miss Antonia Allen. You use some big old words. Now, you know I can't read that good, girl. Like I'm struggling. You got these big old words. All right. Let's keep it rolling because who I got next? I don't know. Let's see. I got Losha. I got Miss Donna. I got Cece, Miss Tiffany, the speaker. And I met Miss Tiffany at an event, which was dope. And she's from California, you all. But financial educator, insurance broker, creator of the Legacy Conference, host of podcast Exceptional Conversation. I'm mad I ain't been on it, but that's another story. Tiffany Hearn is a financial services provider who was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. From a young age, she held strong interest in realistic subject matters by reading encyclopedias, skipping a grade, and going into college to pursue becoming a trauma surgeon. After her sister died in 2015, her parents went through a divorce shortly after, and Tiffany quickly realized the importance of financial ability in times of death, divorce, and common individual life issues. She began selling real estate 6 years ago and quickly became a top producer in the #1 team at Compass in West Hollywood. Along with getting licensed to become a life insurance broker, she is now giving back to the community full-time by teaching others how to establish and achieve their long-term financial goals through life insurance, create creating generational wealth, and leave a legacy. This is her passion, vision, and mission in life, Miss Tiffany Hearn. Now, hopefully I ain't butcher your last name. I ain't want to call you Heron. That's what people in St. Louis call dope. But, you know, I'm ignorant, y'all, so I apologize. Okay, now, you know I'm biased. I will admit that. And I saved this one for last, not to mention she was the last one to show up, but she was going to be last anyway. My wife, the finest of the fine. All right, I'm going to quit trying to embarrass you, babe. I'm sorry. Miss Chrissy, this phenomenal woman has worn many hats and continues to grow on a daily basis. She is a lover of mystery, a solution seeker, and forever optimistic. Credentials never define her brilliance, even though she has many. To name a few, 35 years in healthcare, wellness industry, critical care, leadership, wound care, IV therapy, mental health specialist, holistic health, and she is a naturopathic practitioner. Mother of 5 and lover of all. She is a loving daughter, sister, colleague, and friend. She is an international citizen of the world. Please join me in welcoming my amazing homie lover, business partner, friend, my wife, Mrs. Chrissy Moss. She is definitely the magic in our Moss legacy. Well, y'all, hey, that's the end of the show. Like, we don't even need to say
Let's
nothing
go.
after those intros.
Let's go. It's an all-star panel up here. I can't wait to hear this conversation. Beautiful. I love it.
All right, so here's what we're going to do, ladies. Again, this is you guys' show, and we want you all to have all the spotlight. This is International Women's Month, and I have to say this because someone mentioned this to me, that why is it men doing this? And why, listen, we're not here to tell you what to do, how to do it, or whatever. This is your platform, and we want to give this to you all from the WTF to speak your truth. We don't expect everyone to agree. We don't expect everyone to see eye to eye. All we ask is that you state your truth and speak your facts, and don't be 30 minutes doing it. So, Dimitri, kick us off with our first question, my guy.
All right. Hey, like we said before the show, ladies, this is not strict. This is just to get the conversation started. So wherever y'all take it, we rolling with it. All right. So we're going to talk about some of y'all challenges and triumphs, some of y'all setbacks, and some of y'all wins. So the first question is, can each of you share a pivotal moment in your journey, whatever that may be, where you faced a significant challenge due to your gender and or race? And also, how did you turn that moment into a win or a triumph? Anybody want to jump in there and give us some perspective on that?
Okay.
Have at it.
Hey, okay, so go ahead, Chrissy. Hi. Okay, so I was thinking a lot about this web live, and I was trying to remember my coming into being empowered, because I wasn't always empowered. And I think that, with certain people, it is a process. Like he read in my bio, I became a widow at age 35, and I had 2 little girls. And at the time, I had a very strong Black man that took care of most of the bills. And, we made decisions together. But all of a sudden now he's gone. And he was also the bad cop when, it came to the kids. I could say, Dad's going to talk to you. And I didn't have to do that part. But my transition came when I had to be good cop, bad cop to 2 little girls, go through the teenage years alone, raising them, and trying to figure out me, because I was always, I wouldn't say shy, but had no problem putting, others in front. So empowerment is sometimes a process, and sometimes you kind of fall into it, and it's scary. However, you challenge yourself with different scenarios, and it gets better, I think. And as I get older, you learn from your mistakes and others, and it just becomes something wonderful to look forward to, as you can continue to grow. So that's what I got.
Great response. Who wants to jump in next? I see Tiffany out there.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
So surprisingly, I have quite a few moments where I've experienced challenge based on my race and also who I am as a woman. But the most pivotal moment was when I was in Air Force officer training program. And I'm fairly young, so I can relay this back to college. But I was the only Black female in the cadet program, and there was only one other Black person in the program, and he was a male about to graduate. And so I experienced a lot of, I want to say, lack of diversity, not only just being in the program, but also with how I was being treated. I felt like I was, racially profiled. And there was a moment where the lieutenant colonel kicked me out because I brought up a situation to her where I felt uncomfortable and I felt that I was selected out. And she decided to kick me out of the program. That was a pivotal moment for me and a beautiful challenge and opportunity because it allowed me to step up and speak for myself and not shy away from, who I am, just simply as a person, the things that I cannot change, to be able to still speak my truth and also, work around the different mentalities that other people have in this day and age. Surprisingly, it's still in the 2000s, but it exists. And that was one of the ways that I overcame that. And it's also great to have a support system too, people that, can relate and can understand, even if they're not the same color, even if they're not a woman, but someone that can actually relate and have empathy for your situation, that also supports as well.
Hey y'all, you're listening to the WTF What's the Formula podcast, where we explore the ins and outs of adulting, different success formulas, and even cryptocurrency. Check us out every single week with fresh episodes of how you can achieve success in your life.
And we're on all the podcasts, you all. Check us out. Go to the website, WTFMA.com, if you want one-on-one coaching, if you want to see some videos and get to see the faces of the mentors. We're here to serve you all. But we want to get you all back into the episode.
Now, let's get back into our conversation.
Yeah. I know you all out there giving out virtual high fives and everything else. So put them in the comments. We want to hear it. Who we have next, Dimitri?
That's all for the challenges and triumphs. Let's go ahead and talk about.
CC got her hand up. Come on.
Okay, listen, y'all. Hey, feel free, if it's a silent moment, unmute and just jump in there.
I got you.
This is y'all live. Go ahead and do it, CC.
I got you. I wasn't gonna share this, but I gotta share this one. Back when I was teaching a predominantly white school, and this was back. I used to have an Afro. I'm locked down now. Y'all can't see it so long right now, but I come to the school and I have my natural hair and it's picked out. Y'all, it's blow dried as in an Afro. And the assistant principal, she looks at me and she says, "What are you gonna wear your hair like that?" And I'm looking like, whoa, so I didn't even say anything. Like, this is when I first got I was at the middle school when I first got to the high school, so she didn't know me. So I'm coming down rocking. I got the CC swag, I got the fro on, and she was like, "You kind of completely disrespected me, disrespected my hair, the culture where we in." And she, in front of the office, she asked me that. And I looked at her, and y'all, I didn't say a word. I was the only Black young teacher that was in that school. Well, definitely with, with natural hair like that. And how I overcame that, I just looked at her. I didn't say a word. And y'all, the next day, guess what? I blow dried it and picked it out and made it even bigger. I changed my Twitter account to the Afro codes. Like I embraced it. And she didn't really get to know me. Do y'all know by the end of that school year, that assistant principal was loved me, like all about me, laughing with me. Like she was like everything, like towards me. So let's just go to y'all go to tell y'all, man, embrace your authenticity, be yourself. If you want to rock something, man, rock it. Because the real true thing is you got to be, let people don't get to know you or who you are. Everything is about here. So once people get to know here, all of this ain't gonna matter. Okay, but it made her actually. She started asking questions and wanted to learn more about my hair once she got to know me. So stand strong for what you believe in. Rock your looks, y'all. Be yourself. That's my story.
Can I jump in here? Going along with Cece, I had a similar experience. And from that, those supposed challenges, when I was ready to move into the intensive care unit here in Missouri, I was warned against applying at certain hospitals because they didn't have any Black nurses in those roles. And then also it was a male dominated floor. It was the intensive care unit and it was very male dominated. And so I was told by many, many really nurses who I respected, don't do it, don't even try. And I just went for it. And I did receive some pushback and a lot of, it was really curiosity disguised in ignorance, pretty much what it was there, and showed up as me. Just like Cece, they got a chance to be exposed to what they thought they knew and didn't know. Can you still hear me? They got exposed to me. And so instead of the story they had in their head about what a woman does, what a Black woman does. And so they got the chance for me to show up and show them, oh, shoot, she's a regular person. Well, I'm not regular. I was incredible, but still. She's a regular person. And so it got rid of some of the stereotypes because their stereotypes were based on things that they were taught and fantasies that they had in their head that are fed by whatever societal streams that they get them from. And so, yeah, like CC says, showing up and being you is the best thing to combat that ignorance.
Well, I definitely, Cece opened up a door. And so thank you, Ms. Moss, for sharing your story as well. But being in the education industry and academia and having locks, that is really something that I think, as an educator, you have to be comfortable in knowing that you are the right person for whatever role we serve in the education industry. And my hair, for a while, I struggled to wear it down because I did not want to be judged. I already had the long eyelashes, the nose ring, all of the things, that it just make me the Black woman I am. And one of my teachers, he said, Losha, I don't really see you with your hair down. This is one of my university professors at the HBCU I attended. I said, well, I try not to wear it down because I feel like, it's already all eyes on me. And he was like, you better wear your hair down if you want to wear your hair down. And it was so empowering because, I like to wear my hair down and my hair is like draping. And so when I wore it down, it was so liberating, but I will say that there is, you do feel the stigma that is associated with having locks or natural hair, especially I know I'm not the only one in academia. And so it's just a matter of truly just getting to the point where you're comfortable enough to embrace your full self. So I rock my hair all types of ways. And I will say, having people such as, shout out to Greg Carr. I love him so much. I wouldn't have my educational consulting firm if it wasn't for him. And so I say it's just always nice to be around wise counsel that empowers you as well to show up and be yourself. Because if they know, like, your hair don't make you, who you are, and it doesn't, denote your intelligence or anything like that, and to show up as yourself. So it's always important to give people their flowers, when you have wise counsel, and I'm forever grateful for him for saying that, because ever since then, I pretty much wear my locks however I choose to, but the hair is definitely an empowering thing. So thank you for sparking that off, CC.
So for me, my experience is in corporate America. I grew up in New Jersey and moved to New York and worked mostly with advertising agencies. And it's funny because this week I was actually sharing with someone about one of my first experiences at work where I felt discriminated against because my supervisor, who was a Black woman, she left and a young white woman started, and she was rude. And I don't really do rude. I just don't respond to it. If anyone sends me an email and I find it to be disrespectful or, I don't know, harsh, I just either delete it or just ignore it. So we hardly, had any words. And one day, the HR director came into my office. I was young, and she closed the door and she said, "Oh, XYZ said that, that you and her don't get along, blah, blah, blah. And you have to know that she's your manager. And if she tells you to jump, you should ask how high." And I'm like, huh? I mean, at that time I was young, and I'm like, yeah, that's not what my mama told me. And, my God was with me, because just earlier that week, I went for an interview, and I was told that they liked me. So I called the woman who had hired me, who had left. She was Black. And I told her what happened. And she said, well, she said, I usually take the next day off. So for mental, health or whatever. So I said, I plan to do that. It just so happens that it was a Friday, and the following Monday, it was going to be Martin Luther King Day. And I ended up calling, my headhunter to let them know what happened. I said, I need you to call the company and tell them I need a letter. And it just so happens that on that very day, I was walking by my supervisor's office, and she started to talk. I didn't respond. And she called my name, and I stopped in my tracks, and she said, "Didn't you hear me?" I said, "Did you call my name?" And she said, "No." And I said, "Well, you weren't speaking to me." And she asked me to come into her office. But anyway, long story short, we got into it because she was talking and I was talking. I don't allow anyone to speak at me. And HR came in and said, "This is why I didn't want you guys to get together." And I thought that it was silly, because if you knew there was going to be conflict, then you should have been there to be the one to direct the conversation. I gave them 4 days notice. I left and that's when I realized that I have to be like my own advocate. I was very timid, shy, and all of that, but I don't take disrespect. And for that same reason, I left 2 jobs without even having a next job, and it was always some Caucasian woman, who felt like it was okay to disrespect. And what I will say to any Black young woman out there is, you don't have to stand for it. Always stand up for yourself, find your voice, find someone who can mentor you, so that you can know what's right, what's wrong, and what you should do. Never think that I need this job, blah, 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 because you don't. Just know that there's always better, and you do not have to, basically put up with something just for a check.
Woo! Hey, listen, that was all fire. And I'm glad that Miss Antonia and Losha, you did touch on this when you were speaking. Mentorship, guidance, seeking wise counsel. And that's going to take us into our next question about mentorship and legacy. So this question is maybe 2 or 3 parts. So don't feel the need to, attack each part. Take from it what you will and answer what you want to. So the question goes, in the context of women's empowerment, how do you view the role of mentorship, particularly among Black women? Can you discuss a time when mentorship played a crucial role in your life or career? And how do you see yourselves contributing to the legacy of mentorship for the next generation of Black women?
I could say that I've always been a lifelong learner, and I'm always in some program or another to expand, just because I'm curious. Not even so much to fix something, but because it's there, I want to know it. I want to see what is. And so I've benefited greatly, and it's allowed me to have a very diverse career, and also just life beyond what I do for work or for a living. I've traveled internationally by myself, many times. I've gone through Tony Robbins' mentorship master academy. I went to Fiji. I jumped off of a cliff and didn't even know how to swim. Mentorship gave me wings when I didn't even know how to fly. And it was because I had sources to go to when I didn't know. It's okay to not know. It's not okay to keep not knowing. And there's so many different ways of mentorship. Does not just come in the form of some paid program. You can have mentors around you who are supporting you, who you look to for wise counsel and wisdom because they're mastering something that you have not. I was just talking to one of our teenagers about fear, and they were expressing that they were afraid to make some moves. And so it just happened, some videos came up on my phone that were talking about doing stuff afraid, having courage, developing that characteristic within yourself. And the way that you do that is to seek out other people and know that people are still doing things, who are rocking and who seem like they have confidence, but they're doing it afraid. You just don't know it. And a mentor can really be there. So a trusted source for wisdom can be there to support you in those times when you don't have a clue.
I certainly want to build on that. Mentorship has been so valuable to me, professional and personal. And so one of the things I just wanted to submit to the audience listening is just to meditate on mentorship in parallel with discernment. Even when people ask, for advice on various things, one of my favorite things to tell people, especially as it relates to marriage, I was married to my children's father before he passed. We separated, and when people ask for marital advice, I say the best advice is not to take advice. And I say that because, a lot of people have experiences in life, and different variables impact their response or that experience, and based off of how they perceive a situation is how they may advise you. And so your situation may be different. And so the wise counsel is very nice, but to also pair it with discernment and to make sure that you're utilizing the information that's going to be best for you and your path. So I will say, observing other Black women around me, I look up to most Black women. I know sometimes there is in our culture, some people have this generational thing where they feel like it's a competition with the younger folks and the older folks. And for me, I always look up to older Black women just because I just respect the wisdom, and it doesn't have anything to do with intellect, or any accolades or anything that they hold, but I know that people have been through things. So I just always submit with mentorship paired with discernment. So I just want to be very clear about that I think that's important to consider. Just consider that people have different experiences. So take that in as well.
I absolutely agree. Mentorship is a beautiful thing, and I second as well the discernment. When it comes to mentorship, for me, I have a mentor and a role model in every area of my life, and I consider those to be 5 areas: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and financial. I had an experience where I looked up to a mentor at the time, it was maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, and that mentor led me to the exact position that they were in the past. And it was not so much of a great position. So to have that discernment and to know exactly what someone has been through and also what their lifestyle looks like, I want to ensure that I'm actually listening and following in the footsteps of someone who that I could consider a role model, that I could see myself being as in the future. And the way that I'm doing that as well is I'm creating a legacy as well. This is just an example, all of us ladies here, speaking to the audience members and being able to share our circumstances, what we went through, so that others can avoid that and also fast track their success.
Hey, yo, this is good. Put me on. This is so good, y'all. Hey, we want to thank y'all so much for putting this on, but it's just a lot of things that y'all are asking that I was like, I've been waiting to tell somebody. But I'm listening, and it's like, man, y'all, it's amazing. It is amazing, baby, to have a mentor, like a paid mentor or just a mentor that you're watching from afar. That's amazing to have a mentor that you look up to. You know, you invest in yourself. I always tell people, invest in yourself. Get your mentor, spend time with people, ask people, hey, do you mind if I follow you? I tell my students that all the time. But while we're looking up and we have this mentor, right? At the same time, when we're looking up and looking to somebody to have a mentor, we also need to look down, look behind us too, and pull somebody else up, but be a mentor to somebody else as well. Because I think that brings things full circle when you have a mentor and you're actually mentoring someone. So I don't think here's as what's the girls club or little sister, what is it, big brothers, big sisters, whatever it is. Do that, or just there's so many kids, man. Y'all can just reach out to the kids in your neighborhood or somebody like that. Look in the WTF and see if they have somebody that y'all can mentor, because y'all, they got some dudes in there, but they probably need some female mentors in there as well. So that's my thing. So while we invest in ourselves with our mentors, I'm gonna encourage y'all to also to invest in a young CEO and invest in somebody and pull them up with time or buying them courses. I don't buy birthday gifts anymore. I buy the kids like books and courses and ebooks. That's what I do now. They know not to ask me for no money. Like I'm sending up stuff like that. So I just want to encourage everybody too to invest in a young CEO as well.
I want to add that, I'm 65 years old, and you're never too old to learn from someone else. And the mentors that I have right now that are in the business sector are younger than me by 10, 20 years. And that's okay, because you don't know what you don't know. And when I was growing up, things are completely different than they are now. And if you want to continue to evolve, you have to continue to learn. And I love reading books. And I love talking to smart people. And I love to have conversations that, the Bible says iron sharpens iron. So you want to be in a room where there's people that you can learn from, people that you can teach. One of the things that I have done recently is I've just accepted an adjunct professorship for Miami-Dade College, and it's with the prison program. I'm going to be teaching. My students will be incarcerated, and they're all ages. But what is going to bring me the most joy is to see them, wanting to glean off of my experiences and knowledge. And I think that that's something that you can't, put a price tag on. That's what I
I'm
got.
gonna be there too. I'm talking that group.
Yes.
So for me, mentorship is everything. In 2022 was the first time that I've invested in myself financially, and it has brought me to where I am today, where I'm more open to be bold and to be seen. But prior to that, I look to the elders in the church, and I look to the elders in a Black professional women's club that I'm a member of, because these are the ones who have paved the way. And sadly, a lot of the knowledge, a lot of what we were taught, a lot of behaviors are lost because, there isn't anyone teaching the youth, right? But, one can say, well, that's because they don't care. But then do you care? Because then if you care, then you can, basically pull them aside, because sometimes some like some of the youth just need somebody who, will show that they care enough to invest time and, share knowledge. For me, I love that my young cousins or young friends or whatever call on me to get, my opinion or advice. I'm like, okay, because it means something. It means that I'm doing something right. So I love that. I love that we're doing this. And I like Cece, I do thank you, gentlemen, for doing this. I tune in every week to see what you're doing, because I truly love that. There are men, Black men interested in mentoring the Black youth, because it's so very necessary. But I'm grateful to be here tonight so that we ladies can share, our stories. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And just a side note, thank you, Antonia, for being such a faithful viewer. And also, yes, Chrissy, I'm not going to leave you out either, because I know both y'all always comment and stuff. And I'm pretty sure some other people have viewed, but Antonia and Chrissy have always been faithful watchers of our live stream every Wednesday. And shameless plug. While y'all are here, go ahead and check out our website, WTFMA.com. We got podcast episodes launching fresh every single week and on top of our live stream. So if you want some gems on cryptocurrency, different success tips and finance and everything else, check out our podcast 100% free on WTFMA.com.
And we're going to get these ladies on the podcast too. We need
absolutely
interviews with all y'all on these podcasts. So we're going to be shooting you those links. We need you all on there. But go ahead, Dimitri, man. You know I'm jumping in.
I was passing the mic back to the ladies. Now I was just passing the mic back to the ladies. Anybody else want to jump in and comment on mentorship and legacy before?
I want to add something. This is Tiffany. I just want to add something fairly quickly. Every great mentor has a mentor.
Yes.
Every great mentor has a mentor. So it's always a great sign for the person that you're looking to receive mentorship from, that they have a role model that they're looking up to, or a mentor or a coach. Simply because, as the second to last lady here mentioned, she said that she is constantly learning. And so it's the law of nature for everything to continue to progress and transform in the universe. I mean, we grow older every single day, or younger. But just the simple fact that your mentor has a mentor is a great sign, because you can never stop learning enough. There is always a new height. There's always a new level. There's always something new to learn, and something else that's out there that you may not know, or, a different perspective. Perspectives are great too, different perspectives. So that's all I wanted to share.
All right, what we got left? Anybody else before we jump into the next question? I know we're rolling, but
I did want to add to that. What she was saying is also it's important to know yourself and know what you're looking for, and trust that. Trust your feelings. Trust your curiosity. Allow yourself to have wonder in life. You have time to wonder and see and allow that to flourish and grow in you. And then trust how you feel. Trust what's going on for you. And then pursue that, even if it seems against the grain for what's around you.
All right. Anyone else want to comment before we segue into the final question before we close? All great points, ladies. I love the conversation.
Drop some fireballs in the chat, you all, for these ladies. They're definitely doing their things. Put a comment out there. Say something. Share this out to your pages. We got another question. We got another wrap up. But, hey, we ain't going nowhere. We got 15, 20 more minutes, It might turn into 2 hours. Let me be quiet.
All right. Good deal. All right. So as we close out, we're going to be talking about the vision for the future. All right. So looking towards the future, what changes would you ladies like to see in the next decade or so that would significantly advance the empowerment of Black women? How can individuals, communities, and institutions contribute to realizing this vision?
I have something. One of the things that I think is common amongst the panelists on this call is the fact that they have a background in either education or financial background. And I believe that in order for our future to be what we want it to be, we have to have an economic system embedded in us that we are following. Something, I was listening to one of my granddaughters talk about how much she hated math. And then I'm like, so what are you studying in school? She said, algebra. I'm like, I bake. So I'm like, algebra is the best because it shows you about fractions and you can learn how to do, bake this and that. So don't shy away from numbers, whether it's math or learning about finances, because as you grow older, you will have to learn how to spend your money and keep your money and grow your money. So that's huge. I think that economic empowerment is huge for our future.
I certainly want to add on to that and say legacy planning And I truly believe that within our communities, within Black communities, having conversation and exchanging dialogue about what our legacies should look like, pairing it with just having, moral and cultural codes and guidelines that we just embed within our family. But I think just being strategic about family planning and legacy planning is really going to push us on a higher trajectory. And it's just really having the tough conversations. I recall having a conversation with my grandmother not too long ago, and it was about finances. She's 82 now, and just thinking towards the future, like I know taking care of her is something that is I want to do that for my grandmother. And at the same time, you need to know what does finances look like. And I think a lot of families kind of miss that step just because it's either they don't want to be nosy or think they don't want to intrude. And really, if we're going to legacy build, we have to have intentional conversation, intentional dialogue, and truly plan for the future and legacy build. So that's what I would add to that.
All right, so in the next 10 years, y'all, oh my gosh, I'm about to say this. In the next 10 years, for women, I would love for us to change the narrative and kind of make it more of the norm to take care of our bodies and watch out what we're putting in our bodies. I grew up in Mississippi, in Starkville, Mississippi, and man, my folks can eat. They can eat, but they started off, they were growing their foods and eating, but it's like now, what they're doing with the foods now, it's like, it's just not good for them. And for the first time, we've had cancer in our families. And that's really disheartening because I know we can't control what we buy from the stores and all that, but I see a lot of women who complain about their weight. They complain about how tired they are. I feel like they do a lot of that complaining, but I would love in the next 10 years for the women to start taking better care of our health. And that's eating cleaner, eating better. Vegan, vegetarians, y'all be saying y'all so healthy just because y'all not eating meat, but I know a lot of vegans and vegetarians will tear a cake up, they'll tear some cookies up. But I'm just telling y'all, like, to be real conscious about what we're putting in our bodies and take care of our health, man, like, work out at least 3 times a week, y'all. Like, you ain't got to do it all the time. But let's just get a little workout 3 times a week. So the next 10 years, because y'all know Black women we're already the smartest. So I'm trying to be the smartest, and I'm trying to be us to be the healthiest at the same time. Double that up, I'm gonna be unstoppable already, y'all. So in the next 10 years, that's what I'm challenging us to take better care of our bodies, to work out and eat cleaner. That's all I got.
Those are all great things. And to add on to that, I will say that I would love for us to dive deeper into our past traumas, because our inner world reflects our outer world. And so in order to have all of these great things be a part of our vision on the outside, we also get to tackle what's on the inside. And any of those generational traumas, which we may have saw within the matriarchs in our family, that's associated with the downside, the downside of what's not happening in our community. And so traumas, emotional work, do the work.
We have to get the collection plate for her. We have to get the collection plate for her. Epigenetic healing is first and foremost. So please and thank you. If you could just even say it again, because it supersedes everything that has already been said. Because I think if you start there, we would eat better. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be trauma bonding. We wouldn't have, we would have very good habits if we could get to root causes. So thank you so much for bringing it up.
But hold on. Don't just say that too now. Give the people some steps. Like, tell them what they need to do. What's the first step to recognize, I know the awareness, to recognize there is some trauma, but what they need to do after that. Because some people watching, they hear stuff that's like, oh, get some help with your trauma. But it's like, what should they do after that, sis?
Yeah, so Cece said it. So the first step is awareness. That's the first step really to anything, is to be aware that you have that trauma. Okay, now that I'm aware of it, how can I support myself in getting through it? Personally, for myself, I reached out and I went into it was like an emotional intelligence and leadership program that I attended. And it allowed me to work through that. So if you don't know of anything like that, you don't have anyone in your environment that knows anything about that or has done anything like that, I would say start with Google. There's social media where you can look into hashtags and there's YouTube University, people that are talking about this kind of stuff. I love to journal. Journaling is something great as well to kind of get it out of the mind and get it on paper and actually speak it out loud. And then environment, just once again, being around someone else who has done the work, or at least finding and being curious about the people who have gone through that. I would say that would be the first step. And then once you get there, then the rest just transpires. Everything else is just a snowball effect. You're able to work through it. You're able to learn different things, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what may have worked for someone else, but it doesn't work for you as well. So that's where to start. And then everything else will just make sense, and you trust yourself as you continue going down that journey. And it is a journey. It's not something that, okay, I'm aware, I went through my process, I'm healed. No, the triggers don't go away. The trauma doesn't go away. But what does go away is how you respond to those triggers and that trauma. What is incorporated after you learn and after you go through your process is, what are the tools now that I have to be able to get through this? If there's a challenge that comes up in the moment, how do I respond? And so then you utilize those tools to create a better life for yourself, to get to that greater vision that you see for yourself and for others.
So for me, I would say a vision for the future would be to be okay with being a leader, and to find our voice, without having, the tools that we once used to have. Like we used to have churches that would have youth groups. In school, I grew up in New Jersey, and in middle school, they had home economics, they had wood shop and all these things. I don't think these things are in schools anymore. And I feel like for women especially, people don't cook. I go back to what Cece was saying. I love to cook. And in the summertime, I love to plant my garden because I'm not the healthiest, but I choose the healthy path. And, so I feel like, there needs to be some kind of a resource for young women where they can be trained, because unfortunately a lot of young women are having babies and they themselves weren't ripe enough, before they had a kid. So there's, what was the values that were instilled in us when we were younger, it's not really there because it basically gets lost generation after generation. So it'd be nice if there was something like what these young gentlemen are doing for women also, because women, we run the world. And so, we do need to have strong women. I just actually wrote down on a piece of paper that when we get to a certain age, we say, if I could tell my 5-year-old self, or if I could tell my 10-year-old self, I think that we should find a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old and tell them what we would have told ourselves, so that they can basically learn, have this instilled in them, so that they can basically, find their way. Because, unfortunately, when we were younger, we were dumb in comparison to these children. I feel like they come out ahead, and, because they have access to social media, they're learning so much faster than we are, but they're not being trained to have the values that were instilled in us as children. So that's my take. Thank you.
All right. Did anybody else want to comment before we close out with this beautiful conversation? I love everything that you all said.
Man.
I'd add to that, in the next 10 years, I'd love to see everyone embrace diversity. And that's not just limiting it to your culture or your race or whatever geographic area you might have come from. Diversity means difference. And all of us are different. And if we embrace diversity, you don't run into ignorant behaviors because you're open. You're open and you're willing to learn who this person is. And in doing so, you leave yourself open for people to learn who you are, and gives you space to grow and expand in ways you hadn't even considered you could, because you're limiting yourself. So I want us to be open. to be diverse and to be accepting of what is not you. I would love to see that in the next 10 years.
I'd like to add one more thing, and that is to pay attention to our health, our health care. You just got to take care of your bodies, mind, body, your mental health, as well as your physical bodies. That's including the eating, but also going to the doctor and seeing get a physical. I mean, we did it when we was kids. You should get a physical every year and make sure that your blood is good, that, just check everything out before it gets to be a problem.
Wisdom, bars drop. Everybody give these ladies a round of applause. So I heard something while you all were talking on that last question, Dimitri. I don't know if you picked up on this, but yeah, don't put me on the highlight. I don't want to look at myself. I look at myself enough. But here's what I picked up off of is it sounds like we have a mastermind on this live of ladies that need to come together and build something for the young ladies. That's what I'm hearing. Everybody talking about the health, the diversity, the mentorship, all of that. And all of you all have unique stories. Everybody's a one of one. But what would happen if outside of just this one live that we kept this momentum going and you all created a ladies mastermind where you meet once a week and you discuss things to become healthier, to build legacy wealth, to do all of the things that you all so wonderfully talked about. So that's a shameless challenge to all of you all. You all should definitely come together. Go out there and support each other. Definitely go out there and support the WTF. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave us a comment, because we're going to try to get all of these ladies on the podcast to do their one-on-one. But we thank you all for this panel. It was last second. That's how I roll. We just pop up with stuff. My wife knows all about that. But we're so honored and blessed to hear the stories from you wonderful ladies and to celebrate you during International, I said it wrong the last time, International Women's Month, the month of March, my birthday month. Speaking of which, I got one more shameless plug, and then you all can give us some last second things. I know we're a little over, but I got to share this. If you're available this Saturday, which is my birthday, by the way, you all, I will be speaking at this event. It's a virtual event. You can go out there and sign up for free. It's again, there's only I believe there's 100 tickets, and they were under 30 left. This is what really triggered me to do this, is because I'm speaking on women empowerment, but I wanted to hear from the women and really provide you all this platform to speak your truth wherever you want to go. But if you're available this Saturday at noon Central Time, it's a it's a Zoom event. You can meet a lot of international women, because there's a lot of countries that will be in this panel discussing empowering her rise. So I had to plug that real quick. Hopefully you all can go out there and sign up. If you need more details, send us a message on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, and we'll make sure we get you the links. But I'm gonna stop with my plugs, Dimitri, man. Go on and wrap us up, bro.
It's all good. All right, ladies, I'm gonna open the floor up one last time. If you have any last closing thoughts that you want to leave the audience with, if not, no pressure, but just want to give you the opportunity before I close.
I just want to say thank you. You guys are doing such a wonderful job. I think that, your organization, what's the formula is the right formula. And I'm just so proud of you, and I'm honored that you asked for me to be on this. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
So I thank you, gentlemen, also to know that you all met less than a year ago or recently, right? It's a recent thing in your to witness what you're building. I missed the show last week, not by choice, and I was like, but I was glad I was able to catch the replay because every week you bring something great to us, and I'm happy and proud to see that the two of you are basically leading the charge in that realm. When you text me yesterday and said, I'm going to bring you on my life, I was like, I had my heart attack, but I know that God is paving the way. And this is the direction because I eventually would like to have a YouTube channel myself. And so I am grateful. I'm grateful that you created this platform. I'm grateful that you brought, this set of ladies together, and for even suggesting that we can have something, because I think that that's how it begins. I think it begins by just an idea that will, grow. So thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
All right.
All right, Dimitri, wrap us up, my man. Again, thank you, ladies, for sure. My guy's going to take us home. Appreciate you all hanging in there. I know we're a few minutes over. But this was the formula. Come on, my guy.
Let's get it. Let's go. Hey, one last shout out to the beautiful Black ladies on the panel. And y'all should definitely do something with the mentoring because y'all all have that passion and that experience, and that's what the world needs. So each one teach one. All right. So everybody, thank y'all for watching the live stream. It's been another successful WTF Live Wednesday. And we look forward to seeing y'all again next Wednesday. And if y'all couldn't catch the live, go ahead and give us some comments and fireballs in the chat if y'all watch the replay. But until next week, always remember, WTF not only means what's the formula, but it also stands for what we stand for. And that's winning takes focus. Until next weekend, till next Wednesday, we'll see y'all later. Peace.
All right, y'all. All righty, that wraps up another great episode. We appreciate you all watching to the end. If you're still listening to this, thank you.
Don't forget, if you have any questions or if you're interested in becoming a guest on the WTF What's the Formula podcast, visit our website, WTFMA.com, and send us a message in the contact tab below.
Go to the website. We have free books. We have coaching calls. We have videos. You get to actually see the host of the show, me and Coach Dimitri, live in action. We do a live on YouTube. So follow your guys out there. We want all the support.
Thanks for listening. And always remember, WTF not only means what's the formula, but it also means winning takes focus.
Peace, y'all.